Well, good afternoon once again, my brothers and sisters, to our choir room. And today we are honored, at least I'm very honored, to be in the presence of a person who I've admired for so many, many years. She is Her Excellency, Mrs. Ruby Ann Cooper Darling. And of course, she is the Deputy to the Governor General. But we're not going to be talking about, well, we may venture into a little politics for a second because there's no talking to her without talking about her as one of those persons who is a visionary for the Bahamas in the political sphere. But today is our choir room conversation about her as a musician. Some of us may not know about her as a musician. I obviously know about her as a musician, but I thought as I was going around trying to make this podcast work that we would interview those persons who have spent many years toiling in the field of music, and particularly to hear their views on their work as a music minister and where they see things going, what they wish for the future. And so we want to welcome you, Your Excellency, to the podcast, the choir room today.
Thank you so very much.
So let's talk first about where you came from as a child in music. I'm curious to know. I mean, I know some of the history, but some of our listeners may not know that at all.
Well, my father graduated from the American Baptist Theological Seminary in Nashville, Tennessee in 1939.
And he, of course, the great Reuben Cooper,
yes,
Sr.
Right. And he came back home and started his work here on Hayes Street.
Now, how did Mission Baptist Church even come about?
Okay, can I tell you
Yes,
the story?
please. Mm-hmm.
The Cooper family came starting with his mother, who was a registered gazetted midwife, came to Nassau. As in those days, everybody came because Nassau was like the Egypt where the corn was. You had to leave home if you wanted to survive.
And where was home for her?
Home was Georgetown, Exuma.
Okay.
Most of the children came, but my dad stayed because he was working with Batelco as a young man and receiving telegrams, the Morse code. He knew it all right.
Okay.
And then he joined his mom down here and found a job with Malcolm's gas station up on East Bay. Mm-hmm. Coming home one night, and not far from here, because those houses, which really should be belong to the country as far as monuments and antiquities are concerned, just down the road,
right.
Mr. Mackey's house. And coming, he said, leaving late, instead of coming East Street, he thought he'd come home by way of Parliament Street. And there was the church was open and a lot of people, and they found out that there was some ministers from Nashville came here to recruit young men for the ministry.
I see.
He was outside in his work clothes peeping through the window, which is Salem Baptist Church,
okay.
now,
Yes.
turned into a law office. And he went up just as the hymn writer said, just as I am, work clothes, and accepted and was sent off to school. Came back. He was involved with Salem Union Baptist Church, and which is in Georgetown, heavily churched mm-hmm. in Long Island and Exuma. And he came and was with Salem. Well, he was very articulate. He was a great orator, Bible expositor, being useful and all like that. And somehow a message was sent to the church in Exuma not to let him preach because the young people gravitated to him and the church was getting, and it looked like he came out of nowhere to take over, which is really how the elders feel about when you go off and come back.
Yes, of course.
They get sort of
tight.
Yes. And so he had started this work here, which would have been the Mission Union Baptist Church. And so the superintendent at that time, Nino called the name, but my history will reveal who it was, mm-hmm. told him to take the sign Union out of the church. And so it remained Mission Baptist Church. And he started with a little tart shop. Mr. Pilling right down the road, the late Prime Minister of this country, father of the nation, Sir Lyndon's father, asked a lady gave a notice to move. She was selling a little tart and petty shop. And he told her that she had to move and gave Daddy the little shop to sew. He's keeping the shop. And of course, this was the road everybody going to St. Agnes Anglican,
right.
Which, by the way, Milton Cooper and Daddy are two brothers' children. They're first cousins.
Really?
Yes, and you see, and Father
goodness.
Ruel Strawn is his great-grandnephew.
Wow.
Or his great,
Yes,
nephew.
yeah.
And you see how it
How it
goes
connects.
and how it connects, And so he asked a lady passing going down, and she knew music and all like that. And one Sunday he asked, and she had on a nice lace dress. And he stopped and said, I need an organist. Could you come and help me play? And she told him straight and play. Then she got a snag about lace dress on wooden bench. And I guess he felt bad because he himself was a musician, He played the violin.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay.
And I think he fell down. Among these 6 years, I could never forget it.
No.
He comes to the petition of our house right here on his property because we lived in the church's yard and our house was in the back of the church. And on the petition, and of course he kept school and all like that. This was a big school, all the Leslie and Miller and Nelson Clark and all those came here to Reverend Cooper's school. And he wrote, among these 6, and he wrote on the petition, straight down the length of the petition, learn music in 90 days, among these 6.
Wow.
And of course, the Nago Hall was right next door. Miss Ford was keeping music in there. He started me off, and so it was handy. Miss Ford had a music school. So I started there at the age of 6. By 8, I also went to Miss Cumberbatch. And so every time I pass William Street, how can I forget him here?
Yes.
Here's St. Matthew's Church.
That's
so
right.
at 6, they have a concert in the schoolroom because that's where you had to go.
That's it.
All right. There were like persons like Claire North and Simonette, who was married to Felix Simonette. It was her, myself. And here is the first assignment, and it's recorded in the Tribune of 1949. June, somewhere just before my 8th birthday. And the first assignment was for the governor, Arthur Folks. So Arthur Folks was to, so Adrian says, oh, you seem to be a good writer, so your first assignment is to go and cover this concert. So you will see my name there, being on what I played, and also the choir sang, and I played for the choir. And
at 8?
Yeah, at 8, right there for the students. We had our choir. It's all recorded.
Wow.
I'll get a copy of it. It's in, I guess, edited and everything. And so from 8, so my dad, he was very, very meticulous, and you had to do it right. You had to speak right. Christmas, you got no dolls. You got English comprehension book 1, so you didn't have to worry about which your next Christmas gift was.
Because you know it was a book.
Book 2. And I can never forget it. Somebody missed and dropped a piece of music not far from here, Melody and If I Think by, it was Beethoven, I think. And man, I is right here downstairs where I'm sitting, and you had to get it right. So at the age of 10, I was playing in church. I was the organist for the church, the late Leonard Dames. I played for his wedding.
At 10?
At 10. I played for his wedding. Not at 10, at 14, but I started in church and but 14, just turned 14. I played for his wedding, played for all the children christening, played for their wedding, and wasn't here when 2 died. If not, I would have played. And so I have been in the church all my life.
Louise Simmons, when I interviewed her, said that her father was a pastor as well, and that most of these pastors had children who played because that was a part of their ministry as well. Everywhere
that Mary went.
You had to go.
I had to go. I don't know nothing but going to matinee dance and play in the morning, Sunday school, 3 o'clock, BDU 6. I tell people all that I got and all that I am. And when people would say, but where you went, where did you go to school? Where did you? I said, the church. See, the church. We criticize the church and don't. But the history of our country is we have come this far by faith.
Right.
When the home didn't have it, the church picked up and watched the lifestyles of people who grew up in the church. The church was decency, dignity, and decorum, and your life, the sum bonum of your life.
You know, you just said something. You said something that just clicked to me for true. What the home didn't provide, the church did.
The church, between the church and the lodge. The lodge, because, see, I remember my late father saying, if the straw is weak, the plait is weak. And no matter how you pretty up the basket, because you also say if you take a pint to England, it still is a pint. It won't be a quart when you get there. All right.
I love that.
So, between the because see, they all of these organizations, you see, like in America, if you're in the church, you're nobody.
Right. Right.
All Aretha and those whose dad and my dad were contemporaries, and they always said, Ruby, if you had been in America, you and Aretha would have been the two top as far as music was concerned. So we grew up like contemporaries. Her father, C.L. Franklin, my dad, and great orators and great. They thundered. They spoke. When they spoke, people listened. People listened, and so I grew up in that and being organist all 70 plus.
Yes,
I've been like 74 years.
Did you not feel like you were missing something as a teenager when you didn't?
Matinee dancing I did because sitting at Endurance Bar was there. Silver Slippers are there. So I knew when all the great Sam Cooke and those came and Brooke Bennett and all those came here. My ears, I know all the songs. I knew who had D8 on the jukebox when they got to crying and Jerry Butler and Precious Love. And so I grew up surrounded with the sounds of not only the sounds of the ringing of St. Agnes bell but I also knew all the songs and was rhythmic because of the beat of the jukebox and the Silver Slippers right there.
Not too far from where you were staying.
And even though that the cinema was right there, I could not go to the cinema. But one time I was sent to the shop, and they had a little hole right there on that wall. Every time I pass, I remember through Lewis Street. You didn't have the money, but you made a little hole through. And I was sent to the shop, and I forgot, and I went in peeping through the window and scared. And in a way, when that fell on my back, Dad came with that switch, and I'm peeping through. I fell, but apart from the fear of the hurt of the tamarind switch on my back, at that time, the horse was coming, much as a western, and it looked as if the horse was coming right through the window, through the peephole where I was. So that switch on my back also eliminated the fear of seeing the horse coming, and it looked like he was coming right through the window. So, no, I'm strictly, I didn't have time. No, don't see me to the banana boat reunion. Don't see me to go out. A friend took me out one time. Say, come on, you don't go anywhere. Went down Kenny and the Beach Boys and those down to Nassau Beach.
Right.
And of course, he's my cousin from Long Island. Man, that music put me to sleep. I sleep. Everybody dancing, everybody in my sleep. They say, come, let me take you home. You know, they called me one word, said, you too sugar, come on, let's go.
You too sugar.
Of course, I put it the way they told it to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I enjoy it because music has kept me. That hymn that says, through all the changing.
Oh, my favorite hymn of all times of life.
I like that. When in distress.
To him I call.
He took my
rescue
he took
kid.
my look here, the knight in shining armor came to rescue me just in the nick. But the hymn writer says, when I was sinking, love lifted me. When I was sinking to rise, no more going down for the last.
But these great hymns of faith, someone said to me, the older you get, the more they make sense. But they've stood the test of time. And I feel like, before we go back to the history, I feel like what is happening now is that we're putting them aside in some of our churches.
It's satanic. See, music. Don't forget Satan was where God is, up in heaven. And music it saturates you when you're playing, and you can't beat at the organ in your mind on Bay Street and look in the shop window. Wherever music is, if you're really a musician and a church, wherever you are, you forget about everything.
That is true.
Everything. You become it's just the music.
That's true.
It's just the music. You forget to leave the porter on you forget.
People always tell me when I'm directing, as though I'm in a different place entirely, and I am, because I'm not aware of anything around me. I'm engrossed into what is happening in front of me with the choir, or what's happening with the organ,
or the words.
Or the words.
The words. See the words. See.
People don't understand.
People always say, "Oh, I don't have to go inside and see who's playing. I know that's Ruby." Because why? You have the score. The score is dead in front of you.
Yep, you better say it again. Say it again.
I say the score is dead in front of you.
I hope my choir members listening. The score is dead in front of
you. Can these bones live?
Absolutely right.
These dry bones I see here on this sheet. You have to bring it
to life. My God.
You have to. So when I play, Jeff Lloyd was here at our church. He said, I didn't know you. He said, see, why the people don't get close to God is because they only sing in the song, they ain't listening to the words. Beneath the cross of Jesus, I fain would take my stand. You have to bring that out.
Yes.
You can't play Beneath the Cross of Jesus like you're on Bay Street with them cowbells.
No.
You can't do that. And so, as a musician all through my life, and what has kept me is because hymns are scripture. Singing the Psalms was the only hymn book. You don't come there talking, but I will lift up. You had to sing that's the hymn book.
Yes, I understand.
That's the hymn book. And so we have taken, the hymns has kept me. When I did no longer have a seat as a member of Parliament for Exuma, and it came unexpectedly. And if I wasn't strong, that'd knock all the wind. But man, I might have been walking. Listen, and the first job I got was to music and went into Reverend Saunders, and he took me right in. I always bless him for what he did in the time when I was really sinking financially. Mm-hmm. And Brother Adrian, my classes was over at 2. This is in September of 1992. At 2, I have the Guardian on the top of the piano. The Lord said, don't look at the front page, leave that. Turn to the second page, business. Don't look at the front, turn to the back. And when I looked at the back, Imperial Life Assurance Company will sell the property. I just got my house in July of 1991. September of 1992, here's what's in it. Because I have no job. This is my first paycheck I get now. It in my bag. And I saw, people are lucky now because they only show the picture.
Right.
And every condominium look alike.
Yeah.
So you could get by. But when you see Imperial Life Assurance will sell Ruby Ann Cooper, darling, house
through XYZ.
My heart went to the bottom of my stomach. I can't believe it. And I sat at the piano, I was sitting at the piano. And I froze. And all of a sudden, like the Lost Chords, Sullivan's Lost Chord, I went down to the bit of thunderous and see, boom, a mighty fortress is our God, boom, our bulwark never failing. And listen here, it was like when Popeye, that hymn to me was like when Popeye hear Olive cry, hollering for him. And he grabbed a can of spinach and eat that. And then muscles come up. And whoever fooled around with Olive
was in trouble.
Was in plenty trouble. And I got her from there. And I went straight to Imperial Life, which is still building on Collins Avenue. And I said, my name's Ruby Ann Cooper, darling. I want to see who's in charge of mortgages. They looked, a lady came and peeped, and I could see say, that lady right there. I said, could you tell her, Ruby Ann Cooper, darling? And I went. And I told her, I said, I'm here because of what I've seen.
In the paper.
I said, but do you know that the whip was on me one Tuesday night? Sir Lyndon called and said, you people hadn't paid your business licenses for 8 years. And all the mortgages would be null and void if we don't, the whip was on us to come the next Wednesday morning to put you all back and thing. And I said, and I told him in that meeting, Churchill Building, let Imperial Life burn, because they have someone in Canada who could come. And I say, this is a gift from God without a red bow on top of it. And I was forced. And I told her that, I said, you sitting here because the whip was on me, because I told Selena, let Imperial Life burn. And the whip, I say now, you all know the story. I was depending, because being a member,
yes,
being parliamentary sec, this would
yes, you could pay.
I said, you all know I went through. I say, but I haven't paid haven't used, because I was afraid, what am I going to do this paycheck? And I'm 3 months behind, but not thinking that my name would appear in the newspaper. I say, now, I tell you what I'll do. Every month I'll give you my paycheck, which was the same amount to cover. And I always thank, and the person is Miss Patricia Hermans, and every time I see her, I remember I say, God used me. And of course I had a friend who came and helped me financially. Listen, the hymns of the church, the hymns, oh God, our help.
Such a source of encouragement.
Ages past, our hope. Say our hope.
For years to come.
For years to come, our shelter from the stormy blast. You know, and listening to Jimmy Carter's funeral, and somebody was playing that, and I say, they could play all the Mozarts and the Beethovens and play some Greek concertos or Tchaikovsky and all, but they can't play hymns.
No.
They can't play. They can play everything on the keyboard and all them chords and waiting for you.
We're waiting for them to play the hymn.
But they cannot. They don't know. This generation does not know, and it is their anchor. See what Satan did. He's gone and taken away their anchor, because the storm is, just keep on living, the storm is coming. The storm is coming, but what he's done, just everybody, any kind of chord, we'll catch up with you.
Yeah,
keep on singing.
Yeah.
You keep on singing, and
we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out, and that time, sometimes you listen, the person singing that, and the chords ain't right, and everybody playing on the black keys. Nobody, because that's the way it's technologically, electronically channeled through that medium. So it isn't the key, it's written in, mind you, but they play. And so when you go to church and a nice Allen organ is there,
for heaven's sake, use it, man.
And the organ is there. We have a Hammond in our church, and of course, you know, the Hammond. We have the oldest Hammond in our church.
Really?
That we had that Dynamite Roll, who was a watchmaker, who was a Catholic, the Holy Family. He came, he liked Daddy preaching, he came, he joined here, and We had the organ that you pump.
Yes.
You had
noisy.
to pump.
Yeah, the pump it to get a sound.
You didn't have a chance to get arthritis.
No, sir.
You had to pump that organ, and then we got the Hammond. But what is it about the Hammond? The Hammond is like the anvil and the hammer. When you see all these hammers down on the ground, say what happens, say the anvil.
Yeah.
So when you look at all these new organs that come, and you really don't know how to maximize and to get and you're playing them like you're beating
a piano,
drum on
drum.
the piano, and that touches
No sensitivity at all.
So the pedals and so it's listen, what thou doest, you have to do it right. God is a God of beauty. God is a God of a system. God is a God of technology, engineering skills. As you look at the creation, so to be a church musician, you can't be sent. You can't be in the vent.
Yeah.
Because they pay good.
Yeah.
You have to be sent in order, because you are integral part to worship. You are responsible for the Holy Spirit coming down, for the pastor, for the preacher, for the priest, or whoever is going to deliver that message. You are, the flame is there, but you are to expand that so that you are inviting the presence of God. Music, and the congregation is the choir.
Yeah, that's right.
So you can't get to the mic, and the only mic is there. That's the lead mic, and you sing into the mic, and you can't hear the congregation.
No. And then you're unprepared. Nothing worse than a musician who is not prepared, who ain't practiced. Who has not looked at the music before they get up to the instrument to figure out, how am I going to make all this work this morning? Mrs. Taylor at Salem said to me that she spends this night before, she could play Jesus Loves Me 10,000 times. She plays it again. She rehearses it every single time because she feels that she has to be prepared. Because worship is that important, and that the musician's role is so important to prepare the people who are in the congregation for what is coming via the message. Do you feel the same way?
Well, no. My dear brother, I can remember every key. I really don't need a book.
Mm-hmm.
I got caught into 5 years ago in the same Lenten period. I came in during beginning of Lent. Hymn book don't have a signature in it.
Nope.
Ain't no 44683. Nobody sends the hymns to me. When I get there,
You see what the hymns are.
they come up and give me the I have to look at that music right away. Oh, I see how this goes. I see, and I play. They never give me and say, this is what we're going to play tomorrow. If I didn't have this, I have an engagement tomorrow and really.
You would be playing.
On a Wednesday.
You got to be in church.
I don't, to the Holy Cross, don't ask me anything between 12:30 and 1:30, because I'm the Holy Cross, because I see that I take it seriously, because I've been asked to come and be in the presence of God through playing the great hymns of the church. And so, no, I never get a chance to go, and because sometimes they start a key, of course, like one time it's Jesus the Lover, and I'm Jesus the Lover, or whatever, or Jesus shall reign. But then Jesus shall reign where the sun.
Yeah.
And so I'm playing what's in front of me. And listen. But I was able to go right into
the whatever the new one
with no book.
Right.
Because I remember every key a hymn is written in, so I'm not playing from Yeah, I'm playing from memory.
I understand.
Because over the years, so after playing church all this time,
Yes.
you remember
Yes.
all
My
the
grandmother,
keys.
the late Agnes Hart, she used to be, my mother always makes this joke that sometimes you say hymn 700 and something, and she never opened the book. She started playing the hymn because she knew exactly what the hymn number was and what the key was.
Of course, you knew exactly. And do say, pleasant are thy cause.
What's above?
And see, here's it as we speak diversely as a church organist and as we sharing in. We knew the hymns, don't mind the Baptist Church. Baptist Church, we came in with Prince Williams, but don't forget the belonging to being one of the colonies and coming over here, the Baptist, Father Wilshire and all of those. So we were structured,
That's what, in fact, Mrs. Taylor said the same thing. Mrs. Simmons said the same thing, that right now our view of the Baptists is that it's it's sort of free fall, but that was not the case when he said no. They sang the hymns, and that's what she said to me. She said the same thing.
Response, hymns.
That's right.
Open up, Daddy said, never open up a service with a song that people don't know. Strange song. It changes.
It changes the whole atmosphere. The whole structure of the day. Right.
No, we are structured. We are structured. I know all the hymns. Oh, how you know all the Anglican? What you mean Anglican hymns? And I know more hymns. But here is it. What I think is, we have more leverage with hymns, whereas you're confined.
Yes.
To only sing with all those hymns. They're ancient and modern, and all like that. You only sing and going around America, round and round and round, so you don't get to know the other hymns.
Yes.
We have a plethora of different hymns.
Yes.
Don't tell me communion. Every hymn they sing. Every hymn they sing.
Lord and throne and everything, you know them.
Say all the hymns. I know that here in Mission Baptist Church. This is a traditional Baptist church. We grew up with what you call praise and worship. We grew up with the song service when there were words. See here, you have 3 words and you hold on that and swing on that.
For 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
And it helped your memory because you had to learn all the hymns.
Yeah, I understand.
Plenty couldn't read. Okay?
I never.
You go, people have say Alzheimer's, but you start singing on hymn.
I see that every Sunday. They start singing the words.
They know
That's right.
because it helps you. It helps your memory. It helps your whole equilibrium. Music, but the hymns and the anthems. St. John's Baptist Church. We grew up with Hilda Barrett, who taught in the Ebony, singing Mendelssohn's The Heavens Are Telling.
It's not the creation.
Man, the creation and all like that.
And the Messiah and so forth.
Hey, we sang anthems. I listened to Louise, and she said, do you know praise ye the Father? We know that.
Right.
That's a Catholic hymn when the Pope come and praise ye the Father.
Yeah.
So, None
of this is new. Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Let's go back.
Yeah.
Were your siblings also musicians?
My brother, the pastor here, Ruben.
Right.
Reverend Ari Jr.
But not Fanny.
He played Fanny knows came for a hot minute. Now, listen.
What about Nat?
No, wait, hold on.
Okay.
Fanny may not be able to go and play it. But she, over the years, Hartford Memorial, which had the largest pipe organ in a black church in America, grew in the hymns. You want to hear Christmas, go there and hear that Jubilee choir.
Oh, wow.
Sing and perform the Hallelujah chorus. But she has an ear. She has an ear for music. She can tell wrong and they ain't playing right. They ain't singing, man. She ain't playing it there. But she has the appreciation for good music. Good music. Ruben plays the saxophone. Of course, he knows the music. Nat went to Fisk. Nat was in the Jubilee.
In the singers.
Music. My brother John, he bass guitar. But the others, my sister who passed, Sister Coakley Irene, she can make her way over the piano. But other than that, I've been the one that was, music never left me. I never left it.
And even though you became a political activist and all these other things that in the Bahamas, you still didn't put that aside.
Oh no, I played Exoman's Church on Sunday when I was up there. And anywhere I went, I played. I've played in every churches who need me. I played just before Cyril Baker died. I went to St. Joseph, St. Joseph, and helped him with the choir. Went to Swaby Our Ladies and helped him with the choir and gave him a hymn book, Baptist hymn book. And he called me just about a year before he died. I called Cyril Baker. He said, I'm calling you. I want you to thank you. 50 years ago, you gave me a hymn book. And you gave me, because it was a hymn, God Give Us Christian Homes. He said, and I'm thanking you for giving me that book, because that hymn, God Give Us Christian Homes, where the father and kingly quest and
right.
the mother who knows best and the children who are taught. And that embodies I think you should look at that hymn. It's beautiful. God Give Us Christian Homes.
Okay.
It's beautiful. But I've played in many Missouri Sherman's wedding. I played for that at St. Joseph.
So it would be wrong of me not to delve into politics for 1 second. So you
Go
made
ahead.
history as the first female to vote.
To register.
To register to vote.
They always say to vote no.
To register.
No.
Let me ask you, why did you do that? What was happening at that time? Why? Because obviously the women were given the right to register and to vote. And how is it that you became the first to do so?
And it was during the UBP time. This thing happened in PLP time. PLP. Mind you, I knew all the suffragettes. See, I'm here. Eugenia Locker, Mildred down there.
Yeah.
Juliet was going. From here, I went to the base school, which they call in C.C. Sweeting. 3 high schools they had. They wanted a 4th one, Kelly and those from education. So I was chosen from Southern Junior to go down to the base school. All right. I had to leave right from the same property where we are. And even though that I got a bicycle at some point, but I had to walk to school every day. I'm 10 down there. I know all of Juliet and those coming, Mabel Walker, Dougie, them, Miss Ingram, them up on the corner. All of Doris Johnson of True Mason's edition, all her sisters and brothers and Daddy, everything. So I knew everybody. So Daddy at that time was, even though that he was the biggest UBP general, wasn't nothing else to be. When he spoke, listen here, I grew up on Eastern Road, drinking tea out orange curry cup. The Christian Scientist, she gave me a hymn book. My dad was big, but he came to the place when he saw that his people needed him. And Fecky Brown and Bobby Simner, when Daddy spoke, they listened. Mm-hmm. And he came, and one day he told Sir Lyndon, I'm going to give you twins. The meeting at the Majaga restaurant in the Grove, which really should be one of the stones, as we tell the story of what mean of these stones. We don't know the story. The stones are still there,
right,
but we don't know the story. And so I'm with Daddy up and down to the PFP meeting, up and down on the we had moved from here in 59 down to where we are, the homestead. And I was 21 on the 28th of June in 1962. And the Lord spoke to me, says, look, I didn't make you 21 on the 28th of June, which is a Friday. No work on the 29th Saturday, none on that Sunday. The law comes into effect on July 1st, Monday, but registration starts on the 2nd. Now, he says, look, and I speak truth. He said to me, if, that little word, but that big word. He said, if the black women fought for it, don't let the other women get the prize. I understood, because it was God speaking to me.
I understand.
And God had been speaking to me like Samuel from a child. So I knew. And that's what I woke there. I woke there. And when I look back, I did not see the significance, And at this time, I was always prepared to go to school in August in Canada, in Toronto. And that's why I did not vote in November, because I was not here. That's the only reason. And the Lord said, don't let the other women get the prize. I did not know the significance.
Yes.
All I know was be there. I did not know in the years ahead really,
what it would mean.
I thought it was just for that moment in time there. Know that the event of that day would become the eventuality of the shape of things to come. As you said, our hope for years to come. And that's it. And I never left. I was always involved in BDU and speaking here and being in charge of my friends to the base school. They listened to me. Alberta Bayer, Carlotta class who just passed, Muggy and those. And I didn't know they were older than me. They were taller than me, but I was the boss. What I said, if I said this day, let's go, Mr. Skibo Roberts, with the school there, with making all the teachers bicycle in the ramp and lunchtime. If I say, let's go riding, who could ride, grab a bike, let's go riding. Well, you all got a bicycle, they followed me, we went riding, but school. When we came back, all the teachers waiting for their bicycles. What a day. So I had to take that blame, and we didn't get whipping, just, but I always saw myself a leader. And
is that what caused you to run? Because you ran for St. Barnabas, and then you ran for Exuma.
Yeah, because at that time,
just a natural thing?
At that time too, I was saying to the Anglican women, I said, look, all the cloth on the altar, you all make it and put the cloth there. All the flowers on the altar, you all put it there. The cloth you all make on the altar, the flowers you all bring on the altar, and you all can't go on the altar. What happened? But let me put something in here. I passed, it was only 19 pass to the base school at 10. 11, you go to government high school. I was one of 19 that passed for government high. Vincent Sanders and those came, I think, a year later. All us went because I got to know everybody from the east, the west. I knew all the people from the west because mostly from Chippenham area, they went to the base school. So I passed for government high school. We kept assembly in the courtyard outside, but just as you come out of the corridor, it's the upright piano. So we are singing our school hymn, is I vow to thee my country. And we sing no music, so I go on there and I say, I can play that. I just reached mine. I say, I can play that. You can play that? Yes. And I played it. I said, bring the hymn book. And I played it. And so I played, they'll tell you. And at school, nobody could beat me running. I was ahead in 50 meters, 100 meters, and all like that, and English. And I was smart. I know I was smart.
That's why.
See, I know I was smart.
You know you were smart.
I could read like, one day somebody called appetite a petty, and I made one song, say, thou shalt not call appetite a petty. And first year, I'm over. Second year, I think that's when Vincent Dose came up. I still played. And then Dean Pegg says, Ruby dumb, she ain't smart. And I came, I told my dad. Daddy said, twice want to do anywhere you go. See, because at that time, he was involved, now getting involved. This is now the getting ready, the changing scenes of life.
Exactly
the
right.
PLP and
things are
moving around. And these three guys, and Cartwright and Stevenson and Taylor and those, and my dad beginning to get involved and all like that. And so here am I now in the thick of things, getting in. And so, no problem. I said, well, I still going on and excel. You see, when in life, and particularly in the area of music, there is a serious jealousy when it comes to music and musicians.
Wow.
People are, because you can get there and you can, it's the same envy that happened in heaven as it was in heaven. So it is in earth. So you'll find out that musicians really are, you don't see them here, you don't see them there. They are more or less confined. They are.
Did you ever encounter this organ is mine, you can't play it?
Pardon?
Did you ever encounter the attitude like, this is my organ, you can't play it?
Oh, look here, they come and stand up to the, I didn't
Stand up to the organ.
I didn't, they just tell me to play. I didn't know. I know it's, I don't know the politics and
But the organ ain't gone in the grave.
No,
So there we are.
No. So as a musician, but it keeps you focused. Always keeps your mind on God, on things, all things, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things. And so when I went into politics, I told them straight and plain, I don't have any money. I'm not here for a hands out.
So let's get that part straight.
I'm here for a hands up. Don't look for me. I'm here to help you all. I'm not here to get this. I'm not here. I was featured in Potluck as a leanest cat with my little bag. When the disclosure came every year, I got the same little disclosure. Ain't nothing. And one year I got ashamed. And they wrote me a letter from the disclosure. These people getting away with. They getting away.
They get away with plenty because they don't disclose.
They getting away. Benjamin, my friend, he was in charge of disclosure. He reported me to Celinda. Celinda wrote me, say, if you don't do, you can go to jail or whatever. And I could have done it, but I was shameless. Every year, I have nothing to declare. And that was the year when Potluck come out with, this person is the richest cat.
And you was a schizophrenia.
And I got one little bag and skinny, one small little bag. Another person had one big fat bag. I couldn't even tie up. And I came there and I said, no, I came here to help these people. I come here looking for nothing and thing. I bring nothing and I carry nothing. But I could leave something.
Yes.
I could leave. I'm not looking for headlines. I'm looking to make an impact. So when I went to school yesterday to speak, 2 students that I taught at C.W. Saunders, well, he had told me, who invited me, say, Miss Allen, I'm now the vice principal. So I'm sitting next to this young lady. I don't know who the principal is. So I said, she looked at me, she had on the glasses, and she said, Miss Allen, you remember me? So I said, She said, yeah, you taught me, and I hear you sing, and I remember we going to music festival, and this is our first year. I say, yeah, who's the principal? She said, Mr. Allen, I'm the principal. Could you imagine going to a function just yesterday,
Yeah.
and both the principal. So we are here as musicians to plant seeds. To plant seeds.
But you've had an experience, I mean, you played in organs all around the world.
All around. I've been, I go to churches, they said, come up and they say, wow, do you live here? When I went to Utah, they asked me if I live here. They were ready to, I got to go and either join the choir or take some
Man, you played in the Mormon Tabernacle organ. You better stop that.
You yet I say. I was on YouTube. I have to find that.
My goodness.
To play Virgil Fox organ, to play that great. And when I go away, I go look for cathedrals and up in Montserrat with the organ of the world.
Right.
That organ of all nations up there, to hear that. And to be in St. Paul's Cathedral on Mother's Day some years ago and to hear that recital with some great organists from the Netherlands.
Yes.
Oh, I just get I forget who I owe and who I pay. Who I forget. It takes me, it carries me. I get transcended into a world of where you can feel peace and love and
where there's beauty.
Where there's beauty and no, it has really molded my life. It has really molded. But when it comes to church organist now, I'm giving you a little bit of history from to show that all I saying got this thing wrapped up in one bag.
Let's hear it.
Because that we came up traditionally in music as organists. The Anglicans were able to get from the Baptists Leroy Thompson. Because we were structured in music, think we didn't know a thing. While you slept, we were toiling up through the night. Sparkman Ferguson from Bethel. Father Crossley, not only a priest, but an organist par excellence.
Yep.
Preston, Sonny, I'm talking about those that went and said,
go on.
Come down with us, and we will do you good. The pay better, the organ bigger, the congregation.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
And right here where I'm sitting, that is in the piano, but right there in the corner, Preston Ferguson came from our music school right here.
Wow.
And he's now, what a great
organist.
Church organist. So we have given the Baptists have given to the Anglican because we invex, because it says, Father, we are one. And we pray that they would be like us and be, Father, why they can't be one like how we are one. But we have given to the Anglicans, all their great musicians of not today but of to now have come out of, and so we know music. We know when to solve and to go down and not to
play out the congregation.
Play out.
Because people don't want company. They don't want company anymore. They want to perform.
You have to tell
your brother was just telling me.
You have to pipe that. The organist is the head. You do not rise up. It's like somebody trying to be prime minister above the prime minister, or trying to be king above King Charles.
Right.
No, stay in your lane. Say, stay in your lane. The organ must be heard. The congregation must be heard. That's the time when they participate to sing, holy, holy. Praise my soul, the King of heaven. That's their time to sing. Allow them to be heard. But here we've changed again. Nobody's singing, I guess because of they run away with something. Sometimes, we run away with things. We see it and rather be zealous of it. We become jealous of it and we run away with it. So you don't hear no more that it is well, it is well.
Yeah, you don't hear that.
No more. Everybody's singing like they
there's no harmonization. You must sing the lead and that's it. You're interested in nothing else.
I think it is because if he could sing and be the lead singer,
I could do it too.
I could sing it too, and I can sing louder than him too, to show him that I could sing better than him, or better. I use him as generally.
Yeah.
And so we have lost the harmonization of beautiful, when you could hear the tenor, and that bass comes in, and that alto is, and then the soprano is up, and even though that I love women, but there is, you want to see this land and the world change? Let men sing.
Amen.
Say, let men sing. When you have the sentiment of 100 voices
Yes.
of church musicians of the Southern Baptist Convention, when you hear men sing, God is present right away. Singing our way to a new country is not through talking. It's not even through preaching. We have to begin to sing the gospel
I
now.
understand.
And how is that going to be done? Billy Graham had one song, and thousands of thousands came to know Jesus Christ. One song. Just as I am. See me here.
That's right.
See me here. Naked, poor, torn, wretched, murderer, thief, liar, adulterer, got different sexual violence. See me here, see me here, see me here. Just as I am, I come to you because you can change me. Your blood. What can wash away? Rhetoric? Traditional customs? And no. And so the new day for us will not come through legislation. It will come through the salvation of songs, of hymns. Praise to the Lord, the Almighty, the King of creation, all you here. Come now. Come now. Draw to his temple. Stop running away from it because you're running into damnation. Run to salvation. And it's going to be done through music. You know the great job, I see you conducting and bringing it out of a... You can draw... You're conducting. Do you know I had a choir? We got the highest mark for total praise by an Adventist adjudicator in the National Arts Festival. We went there and we sang total praise. Not like other people singing mine. We did it as we felt it within us.
Yes.
And got 99.75 in the music festival. It's time for excellence, not decadence.
Yes.
Because we are slap dab in the middle of say decadence.
Decadence. We pretty it up now. We can pretty it up. But is it good? It's another story entirely.
No, we need excellence, and it will come through. It will come through. Music is a universal language. Everything comes out of that. Everything seven keys. Completion.
That's right.
And all the music you've ever heard, it came out of the creation. You think God just opened up and say, let it be? There was an overture first.
That's right.
Man, listen to creation. Could you imagine that overture first? And then God says, it's time to sing. And God said, the orchestra came into the... it started because he's about to speak.
Yes.
And you must bring him in with music. And God said, music. Let music there be. And the whole orchestra comes in. And
Thunderous.
when he says light, you think the creation just came and God just gone down dry, right so? Music. That's what I'm about all my life. You see me dancing with what? Ruby, you could dance. What? If I could dance and I know all the beats, I know when to dip and when to trip.
I always, and I think I never told you this, but I know you seamlessly travel all these different genres and different religions and so forth. But my aunt, Florinda Clark, who recently passed away last year.
Oh, my neighbor, you know.
Your neighbor.
Yeah, she lives on the corner. I live through the same corner.
So the day that she passed away, you came to visit her.
Yes, that's right.
You
yes.
thought, you didn't know she had died.
No.
You came and said, I come to see Florinda. I was like, ooh. And I said to you, well, she's passed away. And you were like, what? And we had all gathered there, and we went into the room to pray.
That's right.
And you
prayed.
wanted to
Yes.
leave, and I said,
Yes.
no, stay right here. And
That's
then
right.
we started to sing.
Yes.
And I remarked to myself, she knows these hymns. I think we were singing, I can't think of what it was, My God, a Wonderful, or what I think it was. And we went from one verse to the next. We had no book. I think John Michael was the only one that had a book. And then you started singing the verses, and I said to myself, I looked over at you for a second, I thought, she actually knows. You were leading us. And I don't know that people understand how important in moments like that music is, and the text of these hymns are, because we were at the lowest, but the words were so comforting. And because Aunt Florinda, of course, was a musician herself.
Of course, she
great.
invited me one Christmas to come and play with when it was Christmas. We knew, because Father Clark was my dad's Exuma people.
Yeah, some people.
Yeah, the Coopers, yes.
Yeah, it's just you have no idea, even as you just sort of walk along, how you minister to people. And I just want to thank you for that, because whether people say it to you or not, I know, like I say, you're pretty much renowned in our history and our politics. And now, as a deputy to the Governor General, did you think that ever happened? Did you ever even think that your life would take this course?
No, I never thought I would hear people. Had a guy out here, he always would say, "Oh, you up on the hill," never paid any attention to it, because my mind wasn't really on this. I just want to go among the people, and you call me, and here's where music. Sometimes people call me and say, "Wait, hold on a minute, hold on," and I go to my piano, and I start to play and to sing something, and I said, and I began to minister right
there,
and that's how a lot of people. I said, "Wait, hold on." I said, "Let me go," and I go right to my piano. And I begin to play. And I'm lonely. They say, "Mr. Talent, but you never came." I say, I might be alone, but I ain't lonely. I could be lonely with all my music and God speaking to me, and I could jump up and go or speaking and talking about hard time. So I said, "Wait, hold on. We've come a long way.
You find something.
A mighty long way. We borne the burden and the heat of the day, but look where you are now. Why don't tell the story to your children how you got here? You own Topsy, you own Jack in the Box.
Yep.
Jump right out like that. Time to tell the story in this silver year. This is silver year of the century, you know.
That's right.
This is a serious year. Plenty things gonna happen. Plenty things, and we here in the Caribbean are strategically position in such a time as this, that God is going to be using his people, and especially through music, getting the choirs together, getting a national choir, helping these churches. Okay, you don't have an organist in your church, you don't do. Wait a minute, we have a national choir practice. This is what we can sing, and everybody come together, and everybody learn the song, and you go in your church. And that's what y'all can sing this Sunday in church. And the person who can't play has sufficient time, even if they playing by ear. This is now for those who playing by ear.
Right.
Who can't read the music.
Right.
But they quick. They quick to
You
get.
can hear it in a minute.
Oh yeah, they quick to get and run with it. So this is what we have in choir practice. Come and you go and you sing that. And it will improve. It will improve the order of worship. This is a hymn. We're going to learn a hymn. We're learning 3 hymns for this month. We've been singing this hymn from that time.
Yeah.
Let's learn this new hymn here. This is a new tune. Let's learn this. This is what. And then it gets excited because you have something new. You learn the words of something. You learn a different tune. And I think that's what some people ain't coming to church for. Man, I gotta go to church. I know it's
the same old.
I gotta go to her funeral because, like I say, sometimes you have his for her, and you say, "Lord, bless her soul," and it's about yeah, because it's just the same thing. We need to begin to like you would get your house and you begin to beautify it and you get a car and you begin to accessorize it. I think we need to now accessorize the music and the times that it is to make it more so that people would come and say, I like that. I like the way they sang that. You hear that sing? You hear they sing that? Man, I didn't know that was in the book all the time.
Yes.
The word. And sometimes the pastor can go into a hymn. Hey, it's the same rice. Say, don't change it. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's dog and cat and the donkey and thing. Who coveting you? You got a Mercedes Benz and a Rolls Royce in your thing and all like that. The value has not changed. It's just the product. And so I think we need to in churches and to help each other and say we can come in and help you with your order of service and so that it would be, and people will say, let us go back to where we hung our harps on willows and we were in strange land and we would not sing the Lord's song but now look, corn is back home. Let's pack up. Let's go where we can give God some praise and thanks and honor and glory and don't have to say I'm going to church because I know what they're going to say. I have to go because I don't know just what hymn they're going to sing. No, let's bring some surprise on them. When they start singing, and I like that, this nice, eh? Where this been? So I think with you, God is using you. It's just, but nothing happens before. In the what? Fullness of what?
Time.
You think Mary was only one had baby at that time? Or before that? But in the fullness of time. And I think this 25th year of the silver anniversary of the century. Oh, we shall come rejoicing. Come ye that love the Lord, and let your joys be known. We marching, come. And those who refuse to sing, let them say by the business. But we marching.
Yeah, we marching.
We marching. We singing a new song. We are marching to Zion. And I think that this can happen in this year, and it's going to happen in this year, this silver year, that you're going to see 26 like the heart say, fix me, Jesus. My heart is fixed upon thee, O Lord. We're going to be a new people. It's going to happen globally. Don't mind what's happening because everybody on lease. The people who talking and singing all like that.
They're on leasing.
They ain't reading the fine print. Trees gone dead. and you think you're going to 70, but if you go to the lawyer and they said 1,000 an hour and you only spend 10 minutes, how much you have to pay?
1,000.
So the fine print in the lease and trees content is or any part thereof. So when you run to go pick up for whatever reason, must see to see what is the prominent number, who that. When you go to reason that, it's any part, because you see 3, 10.
That's right.
20. Plenty 30s. Plenty. Oh, gee. The number must see this week is 40 because it look like everybody there. That means any part thereof.
Favorite hymn?
Yes.
Now I can throw you in. Now, since you know 10,000 hymns, what's your favorite hymn of all time?
Simply trusting every day, trusting through a stormy way.
Wow.
Even when my faith gets small, trusting Jesus, that is all. Trusting as the moments pass, trusting Him as the days go by, trusting Him whatever befalls, trusting Jesus, that is all.
Favorite anthem?
My favorite anthem is so many of them.
I know, there's always, that's the question I can never answer. Because one season has one anthem.
No, you can't have no, you can't, I'll have to say, like somebody said when they ask some questions, say, no, I keep that to
You
myself.
keep that myself. Favorite biblical text?
I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh not from the law. My help doesn't come from the law. Take your job. Do what you want to do. Don't give me any. My help cometh from the Lord. And who's the Lord? He made heaven and earth. He made me. So these are scriptures that I rely on. I don't rely on people. Do what you want to do. Do. Say what you want to do. Do what you want to do. Talk with me as much as you please. I'll talk with you down on my knees. When you go low, I will go like Michelle Obama said. I will go high and take you and say, do Lord. Change, take their life and let it be consecrated, Lord, to thee. So that's it. And
toughest decision you ever made?
To make up my mind in my marriage. See, I didn't get married to get divorced, you know. But I had to make a decision. You know, I'm Cooper's daughter. Because I grew up, ain't nobody called me Ruby, and they called me Cooper's daughter. And my dad had went to Royal Bank and said, bring the bank over the Royal Bank over the hill. So that's how Royal Bank got right here by the Gospel Hall.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, my dad said, you have to bring the bank over the hill. And they agreed. They had a loan, had a slogan say the Royal Bank is a helpful bank. They have a term plan loan, and it's good for any useful purpose. Can't tell nobody. Because there was violence in the marriage. And why some marriages or whatever fails with love? Because love by itself can become very theatrical. It can become just rhetoric. But if you so love, God didn't just love. He so loved. And if there's no so love in your love, you're beating a dead horse.
Right.
And so I went to him. And I got dressed and I went to him. I think it was Mr. Lim. I said, Mr. Lim, is this still a helpful bank? He said, yeah. I said, you all still have that term plan? Yeah. And it's good for any useful purpose? He said, yeah. I said, I need help. I really need help, and it's for a useful purpose. I say, my first loan, I say, I need $700 to get my divorce. And I made up my mind that even though I had a new home, a new Camaro car, sports car in the garage, a new home, everything highly furnished and everything. I say, no, if I want to live, I got to leave.
You got to get out.
Yeah, you have to know when the bleach in your hand cannot wipe the spots off the leopard. You have to know that. And leave and trust God and know that He will never leave you, that you'll make it in spite of, but not to stay there. Like Eleanor Johnson told me, said she went and she was complaining, and Daddy had them come into church and said, now tell me what's happening. And she started to tell him how her husband, he said, well, listen here, if he's going to beat you like conch, it's time to leave. And I think that was the one decision, and I left.
Greatest triumph. What are you so happy to have either accomplished or seen done as a result of either your work as in the music ministry or in the political realm?
I think I get joy in my life to see seeds that you've sown to people's lives, and to see the thousands of seeds and last year's honors in October, there were almost 20 of my students from Prince William's High School that got honored, from Auditor General, Deputy Auditor General, bishops, and you name it, PSs and doctors, and you just name it. And I would go and people would say, Miss Darling, you know what? I met you, didn't know you from a can of paint. A young girl says, I'm in the cemetery at Lakeview with Anna Nicole's funeral, and she had on some little short pom-pom. I talked to her. I said, God, I was going to use it. I say excellence, decency, and tenacity. She said she didn't know to mean those words, and the day she could tell you, say those words kept her from 18 years ago. Since she said, what this woman talking about? And to see her, people said, you told me something. And I want you to know that just what you told me, it happened. Thank you so much. And so I think that it is with somebody that says, Miss Allen, thanks for what you did, or you prayed with me, or you spoke into my life, or Miss Allen, you taught me. How could I forget? Over 40 years. Miss Allen, you remember that song you taught us when we went on the radio and sang, look around, brother, can't you see what you are doing to our city? Pick up your trash and put it where it ought to be. Don't be a litter bug. Don't be a litter bug. But when you look around and see the country, my God, need to sing that song again.
And before we end, because we're coming close to the end of the time, what advice will you give to young musicians in the music ministry? What have you learned all these years? You say, this, you have to aim for this. This is what you have to aim for. Because what I found in a lot of these other interviews, that people say, well, musicians come in, they're interested in getting paid, they come, they go, they're here, they're everywhere, and they're not necessarily skilled, and they're not contributing as much as they could. But what do you say?
The talent that God has given to you, like Paul said to Timothy, stir up the gift. Go and get the big spoon of life and begin to stir up. Why am I here? I went to music school. What am I doing with it? Am I excelling in the arts? Am I in performance? See, whatever it is, church or wherever music is, you have to perfect that. You just can't come. If you want to sing, you can't sing. Like sometimes I sing and I say, but I have that CD home. Yeah. Like Patti LaBelle.
You mean the first one I ever did it?
Listen, like Diana Ross, tell Patti Bell, you don't sing my song no more.
That's right.
That's my song. That's how I sing it. I don't mind you singing the song. But you put you
into it.
Don't take my song and sing just like me. Find out. You singing? You like that song? You get the feelings. You tell God to stir up the gift in me so that I will sing it. And when I sing it, people will know it's me singing it, not the tape.
Right.
So whatever field of music that you go, perfect it. If you're going to be a church, I don't know. I didn't tell the church how much I charge. Whatever they give me an envelope, I'm so happy for that. And I giving them back. I tied them with that. I give them back. I don't know nothing but getting no money for playing no church. Like JP. My name is Thanks, Miss Darling. Okay.
And what your name is?
Thanks, Miss Darling. Miss Allen, you don't have nothing for me to catch a bus. Or something like. You understand. You have to be in it to be a help to the helpless. So in church music, you can't go there profile. You have to go there to perform to the best of your ability, particularly in church music, and to the honor and glory You're not the star. You're not the editor. You just selling, saying Tribune, Guardian,
He's
but
selling.
you don't write no editorial. So to church musicians, be that. Be to the church whenever they need you. Stop looking for envelope every time and pay and you got but 10 jigs and you leave your halfway, you're on there for the benediction. You be there.
Stay the church, man.
Not stay in the church.
Be a part of the service.
Stay and be a part of you there. Stay there. That God didn't give you that to make money of. He gave you that talent for His honor and His glory, not for you to see it as, man, you see how much I make today? How much church? Man, I gotta go. You could come for you an hour. Man, I gotta go because, oh wait, church start 8, yeah, I could go to 8. Yeah.
By 8:45 I gotta leave.
Yeah, I gotta leave and thing. No. Give of your best to the Master. Give of the strength of your youth. Give Him the best. Give Him the best. We have a dearth as far as church organists are concerned. Stanley, you can't come to play for us, eh? And so I'm out like on sabbatical, helping some churches. You can't come and play for us, eh? Because nobody to play. The church, you need to let's start all the church organists. Get somebody. There are many, even away that I've taught and they've gone on. The person who got me the job was an organist. Said he heard me play the church. They came from the Catholic, invited to the Baptist, heard me play. Say, man, I want to play like a. I want to play like a. I could play like us, and so let's be light to those in darkness, and let's see what we can do to encourage the young people to become church organists. It helps you. It keeps you mind. It keeps you youthful. It keeps you on the move and keeps you with a sound mind.
Finally, what do you want people to say about you when the Lord says, "This is it, Ruby. Let's come now. You've done work." What do you want them to have taken from that life?
I want to live such a life that, like Dorcas, I think it was, or was it Lydia, between Dorcas, that when she died, that they came with handkerchiefs and things and all like that, said, she made this for me, she did that. I just like people to not one thing and to say, well, she did this in my life. She encouraged me. One day, like a lady said, I was walking and my children, and she told and say, I pass here every day, I'll carry your children to they go to the same school I go to. Have them ready, I'll pick them up. Just, let's do things. Let's every day, everybody shouldn't just be special because I play in church and I'm an MP,
right.
And but we should so live our lives every day that it would not be like my father said of a lady, Bertha, up in Exuma when it came for her funeral. And old Pastor Davy, you know them old Baptist preachers, they never used to play. And they brought her to the church, the funeral. And when it was time for him to preach, he said, see him there. So you see him there, damn lies. You know some. Lives a reprobate's life. And dies a reprobate's life. Now, so what you know want me say? See him there. You know some. So let us live lives that when we go, we don't have to try to make up stories so as not to embarrass the family. And to tell the church, say, child, see if we did the wrong funeral, because that can't be done.
I don't recognize that one at all.
No, we did the wrong funeral. Let's go. Do things as Jesus said. And they looked at them. They saw them and they said, like Rahab said, I see plenty men, but y'all, y'all are God men. Y'all are God's people. Let's live lives so that it would be pleasing not only for men to laud us and to pump us up and be dignified and all like that, but to hear the Master say, well done, thou good and faithful, because some good and they ain't faithful.
Mm-hmm.
And some faithful
And it ain't good.
and they ain't good. But well done, thou good and faithful servant. Enter into the joys of my kingdom and enjoy it. Come down and enjoy it forever and ever. And so I don't live for what people will say about me. They could talk till the cow comes home. I don't care. They could take away. They could do whatever they want to do. I'm here to please God so that I'll hear, well done, Ruby. You really worked. Wow. Girl, come in here and sit down. Well, I know you won't sit down and rest now. So go up there where the music department is and join the heavenly host who's singing glory and honor and worthy to be praised and to the King of Kings. And they asking you, who is this who dressed in white? Mm-hmm. Say, you don't know
where she come from.
Say, Mom, where she come from? Say, huh? She's come out great tribulations. But look at her. She washed her garments in the blood. And now they say, huh? Say, look here. And they fall and say, well, gee, peace. So, that's it for me.
Well, I want to thank you very much. Wow. Just, you never know. I've never been able to predict how any of these interviews have gone. And I think this might be the third one where I'm in tears because it's such impactful information and such great advice and such an example for all of us to have followed. So we want to thank you, Your Excellency, for joining us here today on the Choir Room. We have been talking to Her Excellency Ruby Ann Cooper Darling, and we've gone from one thing to the next. And I'm so happy that you agreed to find the time, because you're a busy lady. Very busy lady. But here in this great historic mission church, we are coming from the choir room today. So may God bless you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Peace.
Peace.